Well, let's talk about some video games. All right, so you have to watch this. I mean, so what of Ghostbusters have you seen then?
Well, I mean, I've seen like Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Right, okay, so
like
that's what I was asking. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm familiar with Ghostbusters as a whole.
Okay, good. No doubt.
I actually have pictures with the Ecto one.
Shut your face. Okay, here we go. All right, check this out, because oh my god, like Greg Miller somewhere was just creaming his goddamn pants when this was revealed. I'm telling you.
Well, he's in this game.
What? Shut up!
Yeah, we saved the world a few times. But between that, we provided a needed service to the masses. That's where you come in. We're passing the torch, or better yet, passing the particle thrower, giving you the tools. Now let's see if you have the talent. Keep your head up and your equipment charged. We're a team working together to watch each other's back.
Now, I know you're still a ghost-busting trainee, but there's much more here than meets the eye. Take a look at this. You have the chance to see firsthand what exists on the other side. Catching ghosts is only the half of it.
So you want to play as a ghost? I'd like to see you try to take on my team.
Okay. So first off, obviously games are in production for a very long time, but it seems like a huge coincidence that Phasmophobia came out, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, Ghostbusters!
I mean, so the thing about this is I had seen the tweets about it because Rahul Kohli is also in this.
Who's that?
The guy from iZombie.
Oh, the guy from
and the
Midnight Mass.
Bly Manor. Yeah, and Midnight Mass. Yes, yes. That's the most recent one. But yeah, he's in this also. And so I saw that they were in it, and then I saw that it was made by Ilfonic. And I saw that it was first person, but actually seeing the footage of it, like, it looks really fucking cool. And I think it might be probably one of the coolest versions of that. Was it Asymmetric?
Yes.
Multiplayer that we've seen since I think Evolve came out. Because I mean, Evolve,
Careful.
still broke a lot of ground.
Thank you.
What?
I was like, careful.
So the idea that this is like, it's the same thing, but it just makes sense in Ghostbusters. Like, yeah, like it's they're meant to go together. Like, it doesn't feel like this weird, oh, hey, let's figure out how to do 4 Marines going against the Predator, which still cool, but you know what I mean by the example.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the thing is that this definitely seems like, just especially coming out now, this definitely seems like the perfect companion or whatever. Oh, apparently I clicked on the alpha thing. I didn't even realize. I haven't even seen this. So here's the thing. Going back to Evolve, if you really think about it, Evolve was ahead of its time. Like, Evolve was extremely oh my god, they even have like prop hunt. But yeah, like, Evolve was, in my opinion, extremely ahead of its time because so many people just didn't understand it. I mean, now, a lot of it does have to do with marketing, right? They wanted to market it like a Call of Duty shoot fest, right?
Yeah.
And that hurt it in a lot of ways, because then when people started playing it, and it was much more of a methodical type of shooter. But yeah, people just didn't expect it to be this type of game where you actually had to think about what you were doing, and to a certain degree there were some just broken monsters, and so that made it where if people used that, the meta was kind of broken. I still argue that if you use teamwork, none of the monsters were OP. The problem is that, I mean, like, this is going to be like super hipster, like, actually, the problem is that not a lot of people just understood how to play it or whatever. If you had a good communicating team together, it would be really good. And so once again, that to me seems like it was just ahead of its time, because a game coming out now like this, what we're watching right now, it totally makes sense. Right?
Yeah.
It just makes sense for there to be a Ghostbusters game where there's a person controlling the ghost like this. Like, why didn't we think about that? We didn't think about it before because it wasn't time for it. But the way games have evolved and the way evolved. I didn't even do that on purpose, I swear. But the way games have evolved and have even just multiplayer, right? I don't think even back when Evolve came out, I don't think the multiplayer was just the community in general. I don't think that's where it was. I feel like the perfect blend of things happening in the real world and things happening in the industry itself was that people just weren't really ready a game like Evolve. Whereas now people kind of gotten disenchanted with Call of Duty and the, nonstop adrenaline rush type of games, and people are looking for more methodical games, more, games of that nature, right? And so I feel like nowadays a game coming out like this, it has actually really good chances of becoming successful, and that's why like Friday the 13th came out, and even though it was janky, people really latched onto it because they're like, oh wait, this is actually like, you could tell the love, sweat, and tears that went into it. And so a game now coming out like this even seems to have certain parts where they're going up to civilians to like eat them or scare them, and by scaring them it almost looks like maybe that gives you powers. This does almost essentially look like Evolve. Look, he looks bigger now. He looks a lot bigger now. And so now it seems like, oh God, this is going to be awesome. I think it's the right time for it, because the thing for me, obviously I've been talking for a while, so I'm going to pass a question off to you. But the thing for me is that with Dead by Daylight, Friday, and like Predator, for instance, the main problem is, actually, I'll start with Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th. My main problems for those is being absolutely helpless. That does work in the sense of it's a horror game, but then it doesn't work in a game sense, because it's like, oh, but now what? Like, does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. It's one of there's no returning hook. There is for some people, but like the hook is not for me to eventually get caught or not caught by the monster and then restart again.
Exactly. Exactly. And like that's definitely what I was getting at, is as far as like what I think was so far ahead was Evolve and maybe Predator, right? It gives you an enemy to go up against, but then it actually gives you the tools to go up against that enemy.
No, I'm excited for this, and it again, it just goes back to, I guess, the concept and the IP just go hand in hand.
Yeah,
like it's like it was made for, and I feel like Ilfonic is definitely probably one of the best people to do this. So what would I know
Ilfonic from? I'm sorry, I do not mean to interrupt.
You would know them from the games we were actually talking about. They made Friday the 13th as well as Predator Hunting Grounds.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's definitely the perfect people to do this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
And this looks like this could be their, like...
Tour de France?
I'm not going to... Yeah.
Yeah.
Their bike tour?
Yeah. Isn't that like...
Tour de Force? Yeah. No, I think Wimbledon? It's Tour de Force. We're very cultured here.
Words, sentences, put together.
Synonyms.
Synonymies.
Perverted for each other.
Yes, we were so perverted for each other. Let's get back into the show, though. Ghost Hunters.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yep.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And I mean, like, to a certain extent, I think, like, Friday the 13th was super janky. Predator was still janky, but I do feel like they were starting to figure their stuff out. So hopefully Ghostbusters will be the pied de resistance. Is that what I was going for? I think that's what I was going for. Pied de
You went with
resistance. Sacre bleu. Le pied de resistance to Ilfonic, because, yeah, I mean, as far as if you want somebody to do a licensed game where there's asymmetry, that's a word.
That's a word.
That's a word. Then they're obviously the people to go to. They have been proving themselves, so that's going to be interesting. So, all right, thank you guys so much for helping us out with this inaugural Nick and Nate and more. Next time we'll also have an and more to join us as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. But until then, I was Nick.
And I was Nate, not more.
You're always more. And thank you guys so much. You guys have a great night.